Hi, thanks for joining us for France in Focus. This week, we're at the Cité Internationale Universitaire, a residential campus on the southern edge of Paris, to find out why France is a top destination for students from around the world. More than 300,000 foreign students a year come to study, and it's partly thanks to the Erasmus program, a Europe-wide study abroad and exchange program that's celebrating its 30th anniversary.
33 countries participate in the Erasmus program. The 28 members of the European Union, as well as Iceland, Norway, Liechtenstein, Macedonia and Turkey. When Erasmus was first created in 1987, there were only 11 participants. Today, 5 million people have completed an overseas stay thanks to the program. More than 3 million university students, but also high school students, apprentices, teachers and job searchers. Just in France, more than 600,000 students and 120,000 teachers have benefited. The country comes second after Spain in the number of candidates it sends. As a host country, it comes third, after Spain and Germany. The European budget has allocated 16,400 million euros to the Erasmus program for 2014 until 2020. A fruitful investment responsible for more than 1 million babies. Around one Erasmus student out of 4 finds a partner during their stay.
France is also one of the world's biggest tourist destinations, and the reasons for vacationing and studying often overlap. After all, students enjoy the food, the sights, and the culture too. That, plus the quality of instruction and its comparative low cost, make France a top choice.
They come from Russia, Italy, and Norway, but have chosen to study in Paris, Strasbourg, and Toulouse. French universities may not top the international league tables, but they still attract more than 310,000 students every year. Growing up in southern Russia, Vyacheslav Terentsev dreamt of Paris. Now at 23, he's made it to the prestigious Sorbonne University.
Pour moi, c'est tout d'abord l'histoire.
It's first of all the history, because there are loads of really famous people that studied here, like Marie Curie and Louis Pasteur. And for me to study in the same place, it's really incredible.
The Russian student also chose Paris for its reputation as a festive capital, and he's not been disappointed.
We go out a lot. We don't just study here in France.
A sweet life. This Norwegian found it some 2,000 kilometers south of his hometown in Toulouse. He enjoys the sunshine, gaining 20 degrees Celsius, and the small pleasures of everyday life. But Toulouse is also the capital of aerospace research, and in his 3 years here, this PhD student in optoelectronics has also fit in some classes. Even if it took a little while to adapt to university in France and its Latin approach to organization.
When I wake up in the morning, I have to check my schedule to see if I actually have a class that day. In Norway, that only happened once in the 3 years of my degree, because classes there are always scheduled almost 2 years in advance.
For her Erasmus year in Strasbourg, this Italian student had to first of all invest in a winter jacket. Francesca Filippucci didn't choose France for the climate, but rather the quality of the education, focused as it is on the practical side.
Tu peux faire ici 1 mois de stage à l'hôpital. En Italie, 1 semaine. Et c'est différent parce que ici tu peux apprendre la pratique. En Italie, nous faisons plus les leçons, les cours, les livres.
After the US and the UK, France is the 3rd most attractive country for foreign students.
Since the beginning of the show, we've been at the Cité Internationale Universitaire, a residential campus home to some 12,000 students from around 140 countries. They live in residence halls scattered around a main green. Karine Cambi joins us now to tell us more about the Cité Universitaire project. Thank you so much for speaking to us. How did this project come about?
Bien, écoutez, en 1920, juste après la Première Guerre mondiale.
In 1920, just after the First World War, after there'd been a huge loss of life, The founders of the university decided to build houses here to welcome students and researchers from different countries. The idea was to build a peaceful world, promoting interaction between different cultures and people who speak different languages, encouraging openness, tolerance, and solidarity between people from all over the world.
And so how does that project manifest itself concretely today?
Today, this idealistic experiment has been going for 90 years. Each year, we welcome around 12,000 students and researchers from 140 countries who live in the 40 houses in the Cité Internationale. Most of these houses were built by participating countries.
And so who lives in these houses? How does one get a room?
To gain a place, applicants need to apply on the website for the university. You need a degree and to have done at least 4 years of higher education and to be enrolled in a university course in the Île-de-France region. And hope to have some luck, because lots of people apply and there aren't many places.
So tell us about some of the more famous students that the Cité has seen.
We've had lots of students who've gone on to be famous in the political sphere, like Justin Trudeau. The current Prime Minister and his father both lived in the house for Canadian students. We have also had great artists. For example, the conductor Seiji Ozawa and Sebastian Salgado, who's now renowned worldwide as a photographer.
How has the Cité changed since it appeared more than almost 100 years ago?
The Cité Internationale has changed a lot over 90 years. Today, it's true that international mobility is growing in the world. More and more young people want to do part of their studies abroad. We're building more houses here. We're creating 1,800 new lodgings, 10 new houses, and welcoming new countries who will build their own houses. China, South Korea, and Egypt.
And so a lot of refugees coming to Europe right now are of studying age, and many want to continue their education. Do any of them stay at the Cité?
Over the last 2 years, we've welcomed 20 Syrian students. The goal was to allow young people whose studies have been interrupted by the war to find the right conditions here so that they could continue their education. Obviously, they needed to study French. And also we tried to reassure them that their families in Syria would be okay. It's been very difficult for them, but we think overall the program welcoming Syrian refugees has been a big success.
Well, refugees are continuing their education elsewhere as well. In Lille, young people with professions and degrees in their home country are back in the classroom, this time to learn French.
In this modern classroom at the University of Lille, a unique group of students is learning the basics of the French language. They hail from Sudan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, where they studied journalism or veterinary medicine. All of them spent time in the makeshift migrant camp called the Calais Jungle. A year ago, they were selected to attend French college.
Je suis très content, j'ai appelé ma famille, il y a aussi il est très content, mais c'est une chance pour moi.
Ici, toutes les choses ont changé. On a une chambre pour chaque personne. On a mangé dans le restaurant de l'université. Et on a intégré avec gens français. C'est une bonne chose pour nous.
C'est quoi le pluriel d'hôpital? Un hôpital des hôpitaux.
The main goal is to master French in order to continue their studies, which they had to give up when they left their countries. Becoming a student means their lives are no longer on pause. They can start imagining a future.
La vie d'avant se transforme.
Their old lives transform into something else. And that, of course, will evolve. Even just the fact of being in a safe space, despite the difficulties.
Malgré les difficultés.
Each day, these student asylum seekers become more like their 66,000 French classmates. But their memories from the jungle camp, where they slept rough for months, are still strong, a year after the camp was torn down.
Il y a beaucoup d'amis afghanes et soudanaises, érythréennes et beaucoup des amis. Quelquefois, je suis très triste. Je ne sais pas, elle fait quoi, elle est dormie où, elle est mangée où, mais c'est ça.
The University of Lille gave these students a chance to register. Housing and food are free for them for their first year of school. These conditions allow them to take classes every day, some with French students, who look at them with admiration.
I know it must be difficult for him, but he's always smiling. And the way he works, you can't tell he's struggling.
Alam Zebkan and Kalimullah took their chance, a chance offered to 80 lucky people of the 1,000 living in the Calais jungle.
That's it for this edition of France in Focus here on France 24. Thanks for watching.